Muling ginisa sa Kamara si dating spokesperson Harry Roque patungkol sa illegal na pogo operations dahil sa tensyonadong sitwasyon at tila naiipit na siya sa mga katanungang ibinabato sa kanya. Dito ay ikinanta na niya ang utak na namumuno at may kaugnayan sa mga illegal na pogo sa bansa na mismong nasa pwesto pa umano ng gobyerno. Samantala, nag-iso na ng lookout bulletin ng Department of Justice na dawit sa investigasyon ng ni-raid na Pogo Hub sa Porac, Pampanga. Kasama sa listahan si Attorney Harry Roque. Bukod sa kanya ay kasama rin sa lookout bulletin ang authorized representative ng Lucky South 99 na si Cassandra Leong na girlfriend ng kapatid ni Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Goo. Base naman sa impormasyon na kuha ng DOJ, nakalabas na umano ng bansa si Cassandra Leong kaya minabuti nilang mag-issue ng elbow para matimbre sila kung babiyahe rin ang iba pang person of interest sa kaso. Panuuri ng tila napaka-intense na hearing sa Kamara na ginanap sa House of Representatives na kung paano muling ginisa si Attorney Harry Roque. Pati na ang dating Pangulong si Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Panuurin ang full video. Ngunit bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag kalimutang i-like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates and for more upcoming videos. Maraming salamat!
I asked Secretary Roque, in the last hearing, you were required to submit to this committee the documentations confirming the ownership of the house in Pinewood subdivision, including the ownership structure of the corporation that owns the property. Have you submitted such?
I have a soft copy of the TCT
Ang
with
tanong
me.
ko po is, have you submitted such?
Hindi po, but I can submit po.
Thank you. Do you also, have you already submitted a copy of the lease contract between Yun Wan and his wife and your wife, Madam Myla Roque?
Yes, Your Honor.
Submitted already?
Submitted already, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have you already submitted the articles of incorporation and other relevant documents for PH2 Corporation, the corporation, as you have stated, that owns the house in Pinewood subdivision?
Your Honor, in the last meeting, Congressman Paduano said that it should be the SEC that should furnish this committee with those articles.
That's what the Honorable Paduano said. That's not what I said.
Nope. Well, I haven't submitted, Your Honor, but I was on the assumption that the SEC will bring it here. But that will be no problem. I can submit it, Your Honor.
Thank you. You were also required to submit documentation confirming your formal entry of appearance in the three courts: Municipal Trial Court of Porac, Pampanga, the RTC 114 of Angeles City, and the Court of Appeals in the Whirlwind Corporation case. Has this been complied?
Mr. Chair, it has been complied.
It has been complied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, may I know, Secretary Roque, when did Whirlwind Corporation get you as their lawyer?
Formally for the ejectment case in the month of August of 2023, Your Honor.
2023. So in other words, it's because of the ejectment case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you know that in the past, before you were taken as counsel, your friend, Miss Catherine Cassandra Ong, was part of Whirlwind Corporation and later on was also part of Lucky South 99?
I knew, Your Honor, that she was part of Whirlwind, and after our meeting with PAGCOR, she became representative of Lucky South for PAGCOR as well.
So, kayo po ay isang abogado. Ano po yung conclusion nyo ron?
Ang conclusion ko po, kilala ko siya bilang empleyada talaga ng Whirlwind. Kasi,
pero
matagal ko na po...
alam nyo rin po na empleyado rin siya ng Lucky South.
Hindi naman po, kasi nung nag-meeting po kami, doon lang siya naging representative ng Lucky South. At ang alam ko nga, hindi ka naman kinakailangan maging stockholder or officer ng licensee para maging representative, gaya po nung pinalitan niya na si Dennis Cunanan, na hindi naman po officer at hindi rin po stockholder ng Lucky South.
So you're not aware of the sublease agreements between Whirlwind Corporation and Lucky South 99? And there were two sublease agreements. Are you not aware of it?
Hindi po, nung nag-file po kami ng entry of appearance sa ejectment, kasi ang kaso po ng ejectment ay sa panig po ng mga Cruz at sa panig ng Whirlwind. So ang nagkakasuhan po ay Cruz and Whirlwind, hindi naman po kasama sa kaso ang Lucky South. So yung kasong hinawakan ko lang po is kaso ng Cruz at ng Whirlwind.
Yeah. Did you file a manifestation in court para po may quash yung warrant, search warrant, at saka para makuha yung mga documents doon po sa raid sa Lucky South 99?
Opo. May mga dokumento po ako doon na protektado po ng batas, yung mga bank documents po na ibinigay ko sa aking staff na nakitira doon sa Porac na naisa publiko po at nakita ko nga po sa TikTok na naisa publiko yung mga dokumentong yon. So nag-file po ako ng motion to quash para maibalik po yung mga dokumento.
Ang sabi po nyo, mayroon po kayong mga privileged documents na nandun sa... Saan po?
Doon po sa renade na lugar sa Porac.
Saan po specifically? Doon sa place ng Pogo Hub.
Doon po sa
Bakit?
pag-aari ng Whirlwind po.
So, parehas ang location ng Whirlwind at saka Lucky South 99. That is what you're telling us.
Sila po may-ari talaga ng buong premises ng Whirlwind na pinaupahan po nila sa Lucky South.
Hindi po totoo yun. Kasi ang may-ari ng lugar talaga ay yung mga Cruz.
Yung lupa po.
Close friend ni Roslyn.
Mr. Chairman, yung lupa po, pero yung buildings po,
Yeah, I
sila
know.
nagtayo po.
Technicality na lang yun, attorney. Pero bakit po kayo may kwarto doon?
Hindi po ako may kwarto doon.
Sino
yung naging empleyado ko po na nag-aaral po sa isang aviation school sa Clark.
Bakit po siya nandun? Empleyado po ninyo.
Ex-employee ko po. Dahil nag-aaral po siya sa aviation school.
Ex na pala.
Oh, ex na po.
Attorney, ex.
Opo, ex.
Pero bakit nandun pa yung dokumento mo sa kanyang kwarto?
Well, unang-una po kasi, yung dokumento po has something to do with the travel to Ukraine. May gera po kasi sa Ukraine at naanyayahan ako ng gobyerno ng Ukraine na sumapi sa isang peace conference. At minabuti ko naman dahil may gera nga doon na dapat meron akong kasama. So nagkaroon po ng pagpapalit ng plano, ura-urada, sinabi ko doon sa dati kong empleyado, umatras yung dalawang kausap ko na dapat kasama ko, subukan natin ihabol ang papeles mo. At nahihabol naman po dahil ang pagpasok sa Ukraine via Poland at binigyan naman po kami ng expedited visa ng Poland at ang visa naman po sa Ukraine ay binigay ng Ukrainian government. So kaya po nandun yun, kinakailangan ko magbigay ng affidavit of support. At dahil nakitira po doon yung aking ex-employee, doon po nakahanap yung dokumentong yon.
Kailan po nawala na empleyado nyo yung tao po na yun?
Well, Marso of 2023, wala na po siya. Pero sa Malacanang po, kasama ko yan. So kasama ko po siya at isang buong team ng social media team hanggang ako po ay tumakbo para sa Senado. So that was November 2021 when I was deemed resigned. Pero yung grupo po nila nanatili sa akin hanggang eleksyon. And itong nakitira po sa Pogo ay hanggang March of 2023, pero meron pa po akong dalawang na-retain din hanggang month of August of 2023. Ngayon po, wala na akong kasama ngayon sa law office ko na nakasama ko dati.
Pwede ko bang isipin na kaya nandun siya sa Pogo Hub na yun dahil sa pakiusap ninyo?
Well, pwede niyo pong maisip yun. Sa katunayan po, kasi nung August, akala po nila tapos na ang boxing kasi meron ng writ of execution po. Pero nung nag-file po kami sa RTC na motion to recall the writ of execution, hindi naman namin inaasahan, nagtagumpay po. So hindi sila napaalis kaagad, bagamat dapat by August napaalis na sila. So parang tinanaw naman po nila na utang na loob na hanggang ngayon po, hindi pa sila napapaalis doon, no? Dahil nagpunta naman kami sa Court of Appeals. Siguro po, tumanaw rin ng utang na loob at pinagbigyan yung aking dating tao.
So, kayo po ang nakiusap?
Hindi po. Ang nag-usap po talaga ay yung empleyado ko at saka si Cassie Ong.
Paano sila nakakilala?
Well, nagpulong po kami matapos po ang isang pagbibista dyan po sa...
Kayo po ang nagpakilala?
Ako po nagpakilala.
Yes.
Ako nagpakilala.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, may I go to Ms. Ronelyn Baterna?
Yes,
Is she still around?
go ahead. Yeah, andito pa. Go ahead.
Yes. Kanina, Madam Ronelyn, sinabi mo na hindi mo masyadong kakilala si Cassandra Leong. Tama po ba yung pagkarinig ko?
Kilala ko po siya, Your Honor, and then nakikita ko rin po siya.
Gaano mo siya kakilala?
As to work po, since doon din po siya nagtatrabaho.
Doon siya nagtatrabaho. Natatandaan mo ba na nung February 2 of 2021, may pinirmahan kang sublease agreement kay Madam Cassandra Ong?
Hindi ko na po matandaan, Your Honor, kasi sobrang dami ko na pong napirmahan na papel.
May I request the page to show the sublease contract in my possession to Madam Ronelyn Baterna so that she can determine whether the document is what she signed?
Okay, the Comsec is hereby directed to bring the documents to Baterna. Go ahead, Congressman Chairman Acop.
Hindi. Gusto kong tanungin kasi yun ang susunod na tanong ko eh.
Sige,
Kasi parang siya nang may-ari ng South 99, Lucky South 99 eh. Madam Ronaldin, pirma po niyo ito.
Opo.
Natatandaan po ninyo na pinirmahan niyo itong sublease contract na ito.
Opo.
At ang nakalagay dito, it's this sublease agreement executed and entered into by and between Whirlwind Corporation as the sublessor and Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated as the sublessee. You were, in this document, kayo po ang nagre-represent sa Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated. Tama po ba?
Sa totoo po niyan, Your Honor,
Sagutin
yung...
mo lang po yung tanong ko, tama po ba yung sinabi ko? Kasi dito sa dokumento, itong dokumento, maski tanungin mo yung abogado mo, ay hindi maglalay o hindi magsisinungaling itong dokumento.
Opo, ako po yung nagpirma.
Oh, bakit? Bakit ikaw ang pumirma, Iha?
As per instruction po, kailangan ko pong pirmahan.
Kanino pong instruction?
Yun, gaya nga po ng sinabi.
Kanino pong instruction?
Kay
Sagutin
Ma'am-
mo yung tanong ko. Hindi. Pangatlo na akong mag-move to cite you in contempt. At Iha, hindi kita pakukulong dito. Sinisiguro ko yun.
Sa attorney po, galing po kay attorney.
Sinong attorney?
Attorney Medina po.
Attorney Medina. Mr. Chair, may I move that we invite also Attorney Medina so that we will find out kung sino po ang nag-uutos talaga dito.
Siya ba yung under ng NFC law firm?
Hindi po.
Iba pa yung Attorney Medina, hindi yan kasama doon sa lawyer mo yan?
Hindi po.
Oh, sige, we'll be inviting the...
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
Will you allow it, Congressman?
Hindi, with regards to Attorney.
Go ahead. I'm just asking.
Kasi pinapa-invite niya.
No, wait. Of course, kaya nga, I'm just asking if he's going to allow you to interject. Let's put order, okay? Sige, go ahead. So, we'll be inviting Attorney Medina. Anong first name niya? Anong first name ng Attorney Medina?
Attorney Medina lang yung po yung pagkakilala ko. Your Honor.
What?
Attorney Medina lang po.
Ang alam mo?
Opo.
How can we invite? There's a lot of Medina.
Sa may, ano po, sa may Clark, yung office.
Ano na?
Yung office niya po sa may Clark, malapit po.
What's the address nung ano? O sige, the COMSEC will coordinate with you. Go ahead, Congressman Akop.
Mr. Chair, if I remember it right, I think in one of the hearings we have, huwag ka magalit muna, we have already invited that Attorney Medina.
COMSEC, have we invited Attorney Medina already? Not yet daw.
Nagagalit na
Mr. Chairman,
Frank.
You have invited the last
That's why I want to interject with regards to Attorney Medina because that is my question to Dennis Cunanan and we invited him last hearing.
Okay, so it was manifested the invitation on Attorney Medina in the last hearing. So what's the pleasure of Congressman Paduano?
George is not around, no excuse, then we will issue a cause order.
Okay, so there's
And that's a motion, Mr.
there's a
Chairman.
motion to issue a show cause order to this person, Attorney Medina, which we have invited in the last hearing and never wala siyang communication with us. So any second the motion? There's a second the motion. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved. Go ahead, Congressman Akop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I go back to Attorney or Secretary Roque?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, doon po sa pag-represent nyo sa Whirlwind Corporation, sa kaso, laban po kina Ronaldo Cruz, Froilan Cruz. Tama po ba ito?
Tama po yan.
Tama.
Yan po yan.
Now, what is the status of the case?
Ngayon po, nakabinbin po siya sa Court of Appeals kasi naghain po kami matapos ma-recall ang writ of execution, naghain po kami ng petition to annul judgment sa Court of Appeals. Tapos, dahil recall po ng RTC ang writ of execution, nakabinbin po ngayon sa MTC PORAC ang issue ng writ of execution, habang nakabinbin din po sa Court of Appeals yung petition for annulment of judgment.
So, hindi po nadidesisyonan kung sino talaga ang may-ari?
Wala naman pong issue kung sino may-ari. Pag-aari po talaga ng Cruz. Ang issue lang is, yung issue po ng possession at ang issue po is kung nabigyan pa ho ng due process ang Whirlwind doon sa pagdinig ng ejectment case. Kasi nga po, medyo komplikado kaya sana gusto ko nandito yung mga Cruz. Nagdidemandahan po yung anak at tatay na Cruz at ang nagpaupa po sa Whirlwind ay yung tatay na Cruz. At it so happen na ang registered owners pala ng lupa ay ang mga anak ng Cruz pero minimaintain naman ni tatay na Cruz na hindi naman sila nagpuntar noon. But in any case, dahil ang mga anak po ang registered owner, sila po nagdemanda. Now, ang version po ng Whirlwind, hindi nila alam na nagdemanda ang mga anak ni Cruz dahil ang summons tinanggap ni tatay na Cruz at siya ang kumuha ng abogado para mag-appear for Whirlwind. Nung una po, nanalo yung abogado at na-dismiss ang kaso for ejectment sa MTC, pero nung na-appeal po sa RTC, na-reverse at yun nga po, nagkaroon ng writ of execution. At doon na po kami pumasok nung meron ng writ of execution sa RTC.
Are you aware of the decision of the Court of Appeals?
Meron decision po, pero nagsahain po kami ng motion for reconsideration.
Ano po yung decision ng Court of Appeals?
Yung Court of Appeals decision po, natalo kami doon sa petition for annulment of judgment, pero may pending motion for reconsideration po kami. Ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, ng Court of Appeals, hindi po pwedeng annulment of judgment kasi nga ang nangyari, matapos magkaroon ng writ of execution, nagkaroon daw ng compromise agreement na pinasok naman ng whirlwind. At dahil pumasok sila doon sa kasunduan na yon, ay hindi masasabi, parang na-cure yung defect doon sa hindi naman sila nabigyan ng pagkakataon na depensa ng sarili nila. At naniniwala po kami, no, ng issue of law, kung mapapatunayan talaga na hindi sila binigyan ng pagkakataon na madinig ng hukuman, dapat talaga null and void yung decision. At lahat po ng compromise agreement na ipinasok ayon sa isang null and void na decision ay null and void din. Yun po yung nakasaad sa aming motion for reconsideration.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, may I move that we re-invite the Cruz family in the next hearing? So move, Mr. Chair.
Yes, okay. There's a motion to invite the Cruz family. This will be the second time that we have invited them, but they have written us a letter of excuse. Have you seen the letter of excuse, Congressman? Okay. So, any second the motion? This duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will. My questions will be asked when the Cruz family will honor our invitation. Marami pong salamat. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I like to manifest also that I'm now submitting a copy of the transfer certificate of title electronically to the committee secretary.
Okay, thank you so much.
I wish to address my question to Attorney Harry Roque. With all due respect, Attorney, Mr. Chair, this is a common knowledge that Attorney Harry Roque worked as the spokesperson for former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Does our resource speaker confirm this?
Yes, Madam Chair. Mr. Chair.
And Mr. Chair, can we please direct the resource speaker to describe ano po ba ang trabaho ng isang resource speaker ng Presidente?
As spokesperson, I was addressing the Malacanang Press Corps 3 times a week. I was preparing press releases on behalf of the President, and I was answering queries from the media on behalf of the President.
And will the resource speaker agree if I would say that a spokesperson position is a position of trust and confidence?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And by position of trust and confidence, that President is giving you full trust and confidence in all matters that might be within or even relevant to charge of function as presidential spokesperson. Does the resource speaker agree?
Mr. Chairman, subject to regular consultations with the President.
And for the information of the committee, by the position of trust and confidence, the moment the President lost the trust and confidence, the person can anytime terminate this official.
I confer that, Mr. Chairman, I was appointed to a position rank of cabinet.
I understand as well that Attorney Roque is one of the senior lawyers, as a matter of fact, internationally. Can you please enlighten us on your background as a lawyer?
I have been teaching international law in UP as well as in American University, National University of Singapore, total of more than 20 years already until now. And I was past president of the Society of. I'm also a member of the List Council.
And having earned that reputation in the legal circle, Mr. Chair, and being the presidential spokesperson as well, I would assume that ever there will be erroneous decision part of the President, Attorney Harry Roque, calling the effective, perhaps stopping the President from pursuing such erroneous action. Will the resource speaker agree to this?
I do not think I had that function. I could only speak for the President. I could not actually countermand him. I could not correct him. He is my principal.
But considering, Mr. Chair, that he is a lawyer and a spokesperson as well, pagka ho ba may maling desisyon ang Presidente, will you not volunteer for legal expertise to correct the President?
Unless I am asked for my opinion, Mr. Chair, I will not volunteer, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of Attorney Harry Roque to PD 9. This is described as the Charter of PAGCOR. And as a matter of fact, it defines what illegal gambling is. I also wish to invite his attention to Republic Act number 9487, which extends franchise of PAG Court another 5 years. Again, it defines what illegal gambling is. Ultimately, Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of Attorney Roque to Executive Order number 3. I wish to state for the record, Mr. Chair, that for the very first time, the term online gaming was mentioned in Executive Order number 13. This is something which is not mentioned, which is not provided in PD 1869, as well as in RA 9487. May I ask the resource speaker, when the President issued Executive Order number 13, don't you think he legislated?
I am unable to make an opinion because when I was a spokesperson, legal matters such as these are directed to the Presidential Legal Counsel or to the Office of the Solicitor General or to the Legal Office of the Office of the President under the Executive Secretary.
Mr. Chair, this representation wishes to solicit the opinion of expert, our resource speaker, Attorney Harry Roque, that number of things he has come across Executive Order number 13. This is the potential issue. Time of Roque Duterte mentioning time term that was never mentioned in PD 1869 and even in RA 9486. I hope we can be enlightened by the legal experts of our research. When the President issued law number 3, fighting for the term online gaming time, don't you think, Attorney Roque, the President legislated?
Again, Your Honor, I am unable to answer because that is not within my expertise. You've mentioned that my expertise in the field of public law, having taught and practiced that, and I am sorry because I'm not very familiar with Executive Order number 13. In fact, my only knowledge of Executive Order number 13 was in the last hearing when former Chair Domingo said that President Duterte regulated online gambling through Executive Order number 13. But I am unable to give an opinion now, not being thoroughly familiar with the EO as well as the underpinnings behind the issuance of Executive Order number 13. I'm so sorry, Your Honor, it's not within my field of expertise.
With all due respect to our resource speaker, Mr. Chair, I find it strange na sa dami po ng hearing na ina-attendan niya, both in the Senate and in the Congress, all pertaining to POGOs, he have not come across EO number 13, from which the POGOs or the online gaming started. But I'm sure, for the next concern that I wish to raise, our resource speaker is very much familiar with, because this is fundamental in the study of law. There is in law the principle of separation of powers. And I wish to share the case of Belgica versus Ochoa, GR number 208566, November 19, 2013, on the constitutionality of the Priority Development Assistance Fund. For the information of the Filipino people, I wish to read, the principle of separation of powers refers to the constitutional demarcation of the three fundamental powers of the government. In the celebrated words of Justice Laurel Inangara versus Electoral Commission, it means that the Constitution has blocked out, with deft strokes and in bold lines, allotment of power to the executive, the legislative, and the judicial departments of the government. To the legislative branch of the government, through Congress, belongs the power to make laws. To the executive branch of the government, through the President, belongs the power to enforce laws. To the judicial branch of government, through the court, belongs the power to interpret laws. I wish to go back to Attorney Roque. Attorney Roque, don't you think that the President encroached upon the power of the Congress when he issued Executive Order number 13, providing for online gaming?
Well, Mr. Chair, first and foremost, I argued that case of Belgica. I was lawyer in the Supreme Court for Mr. Belgica, and I confirmed the principle of separation of powers. However, as I said, although it is not my expertise, I will give my opinion, my candid opinion. And that is, under our scheme of things, executive issuances, legislative enactments are all presumed to be constitutional unless proven otherwise. So the status of Executive Order number 13, unless challenged in court, is that it is presumed to be constitutional. Executive orders being in the nature of implementing existing legislation, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, there's a principle in law. When the law does not provide, we should not provide. When the law does not include, we should not include. if the substantive law creating PAGCOR does not provide for online gaming, then no executive issuances should provide for online gaming. Let us all be reminded by the legal maxim, inclusio unius est exclusio alterius. Kung wala naman pong sinabi dun sa substantive law, then the procedural law should not provide. Let us be reminded that the procedural law should always yield in favor of the substantive law. Mr. Chair, I wish to invite the attention of the committee to Executive Order Number 13, the presidential issuance which provides for the very first time for the term online gaming, the term that was never mentioned in the legislation that was passed by Congress. In the 8 whereas clause, it says, clarifying the extent of authority of gambling regulators, particularly with regards to online gaming. And then we have Section 3, clarification on online gambling, which technically defines what online gambling is. And then under Section 4, Mr. Chair, it emphasizes the oversight function of the Office of the President over all forms of gaming, and that includes online gaming. I humbly submit, Mr. Chair, that EO number 13 brings online gambling into life. And I do not understand, Mr. Chair, why this should circumvent the law that was passed by Congress, creating the PAGCOR and providing the authorities to regulate all the gaming and gambling activities. Once again, Mr. Chair, I wish to raise the reason why the principle of separation of powers is very important. The principle of separation of powers and its concepts of autonomy and independence stem from the notion that the powers of the government must be divided to avoid concentration of these powers in any one branch. The division, it is hoped, would avoid any single branch from lording its power over the other branches or the citizenry. To achieve this purpose, the divided power must be wielded by co-equal branches of government that are equally capable of independent action in exercising their respective mandates. Lack of independence would result in the inability of one branch of government to check the arbitrary or self-interest assertions of another or others. To wind up, Mr. Chair, I wish to state for the record that when the President issued Executive Order Number 13, it is the humble submission of this representation. He legislated, he amended, he repealed the law, an act which violates the fundamental principle of separation of power. The executive should not encroach upon the power to legislate that belongs exclusively to the Congress. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. So in other words, PAGCOR, ang daming online gaming. Hindi lamang Pogo. Di ba? We have like e-bingo. Di ba? E-loto. Ano pa iba? Ha? Pigo. So, hindi, isabong, wala na isabong eh. So, in other words, lahat ng E. Di ba? So, Al. So, kasi ang daming E nito eh, di ba? But we are focusing only on the Pogos eh. Maybe you have to consider this eh. Kasi maraming, baka may mag-question eh. No? And I think we have to legislate. If we wanted really to make this as legal as possible and to follow the law, because we are all abiding citizen, so we need some amendments on the existing law para to strengthen yung ating operation. Because if you follow the narrative of Congressman Luistro, it all follows that all those E are all illegal. Am I correct? Chairman, I'll thank you. Sige, Chairman.
Well, as been explained in previous hearings, the real basis of PAGCOR is the said EO that was issued then by former President Duterte. So I suppose unless it is questioned, unless it is brought to court or questioned by whoever, then it will remain to be the law that regulates the entire online gaming industry. I believe that also PAGCOR is here to regulate. And for the information of everybody, prior to my assumption to office, truly what was seen is there is really a birth of a new kind of gaming. Originally, it was just land-based casinos, but at the outset, when the pandemic came, then the birth of e-gaming really prospered. And very clear from the data that we have now, Chairman, the trajectory of e-gaming is just already too high. No? And if we will not regulate it, then this all goes to the gray market. But with proper regulation, and that is what PAGCOR's leadership is doing now, we're able to regulate all these underground or gray market players, and in turn, we are able to collect revenue, which we give back not only to the government, but to our countrymen, the Filipino people.
Okay. Thank you,
Mr.
Chairman
Chair.
Alpenco.
Mr. Chair, may I interject in relation to your question?
If Congressman Chairman Ace Barbers will allow it, we will allow you to
May I,
interject.
Chairman
Okay daw.
Barber?
Go ahead.
Executive Order number 13 is an order of the former president against all illegal gambling, di ba? With this, makikita natin dito that those that are giving licenses to gambling are actually protected in this executive order. For example, PAGCOR is not the only one given the right to give licenses. But even Republic Act number 7922, creating the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority, can manage gambling actually. Republic Act 9490, tayo nang gumawa nito. Created the Aurora Pacific Economic Zone and People Authority, also can manage online gambling. Republic Act number 9728, created the authority of the Freeport area of Bataan, can also manage and operate online gambling. Therefore, Mr. Chair, it is not only PAGCOR, and I believe that PAGCOR should not only be the one invited here, but even those that are officers of the Cagayan Economic Zone, Aurora Pacific Economic Zone, and Freeport area of Bataan should be invited to shed light on gambling. Particularly, they also know what illegal gambling means. Mr. Chair, yun lang po.
Mr. Chair, can I make an interjection?
Okay, go ahead.
As a comment to the Honorable Abante, he made mention of the Aurora Special Economic Zone, Cagayan Economic Zone in Freeport, and Port area of Bataan. I just wish to enlighten the committee that all of these three free zones were created by virtue of a law that was passed by Congress. Those are RA 9490, RA 7922, and RA 9728. The law is the one which provided this free economic zone, the power to operate an online gambling. But the point which is at hand, Mr. Chair, during the interpellation with our resource speaker is the power that was assumed by the PAGCOR by virtue of EO number 13. It went beyond what is provided in the legislation that was passed by Congress. And to be specific, Mr. Chair, that is PD 1816 and RA 9487. Well, I have to admit I am not so certain about PD 1869 because this was passed in 1983 before the 1987 Constitution. Pasensya na po, ang inabot ko lang po 1987 Constitution. But I assume that during that time, perhaps the President still has the power to pass a law, but as effective 1987 Constitution, strictly, we are following the separation of powers, meaning it is only the Congress who can pass the law. And to go back to my point, Mr. Chair, if 9487 does not provide for the power to issue license to online gambling, then EO 13 is an ultra vires issuance for providing one, which is not provided in the substantive law.
I know these questions have already been asked, like former Secretary Roque, but allow me, Mr. Chair, to further clarify the details that happened in that particular meeting. Mr. Chair, Attorney Roque, magandang umaga po. Yes,
Good
you
morning,
mentioned,
Mr. Chair.
magandang umaga. You mentioned po in the previous committee hearing that some of the officers or officials of Wilwin Company and perhaps the Lucky South 99 do not and cannot speak English. Am I correct?
Yung pong pagkakaintindi ko, hindi lang po sa Lucky South, pero sa karamihan po ng mga po, sila po talaga nagpapatakbo no electronic kasi kaya rin po nagkakaroon nga sila ng hubs para
Yes.
hindi na sila kahulubi
Yes,
po.
yes, Mr. Chair. If I may request Secretary Roque to just answer the representation with yes or no. So yes, I took that as a yes. So, would you know, Mr. Chair, Secretary Roque, does Cassandra Leong, the representative of Lucky South 99, can speak English and understand English?
Well, ang pagkakakilala ko po kay Cassandra, siya po ay marunong mag-Chinese, nag-aral po sa China, at siya nga po ay translator para dito sa mga Lucky South.
So, pwede po siyang magsalita ng Tagalog or
Opo.
Opo. So, that does mean that Ms. Cassandra Ong can communicate directly with the Chairman Altenco?
Pwede po.
So, pwede. So, ibig sabihin po, hindi na ho kailangan, Mr. Chair, that Cassandra Ong does not necessarily need your assistance to go to PAGCOR and have that meeting in relation to RERs that we need to.
Kailangan po kasi nung mga panahon na yon, ang representante ng Lucky South sa PAGCOR ay si Mr. Dennis.
Okay. So let me ask you, Secretary, Mr. Chair, how did you meet Cassandra Ong?
Okay.
And when was this and where was this meeting?
Natapos na po yung eleksyon, bumalik na po ako sa pribadong buhay at ako po ay promoting renewable energy project. Tapos sa pinopromote ko talaga ay yung Sogod Power sa Cebu at hindi po ako nagkakamali, na-meet ko po ang isang representative ng kumpanya ni Cassandra Ong sa isang forum ng renewable energy. At linapitan po ako na meron silang interest kasi doon sa forum po yon nanindigan ako na contrary to the position of many individuals, ang renewable energy, ang solar po ay po pwedeng 100% for own. Okay. So yun po yung konteksto na na-meet ko po ang kumpanya ni Cassie Ong.
Yeah, so when did you first discuss with Ms. Cassandra Ong about going with her to PAGCOR? When and where did this happen?
Sa same month of July na po, no? Kasi ang palaging kausap ko ay isang CEO ng kumpanya ni Cassie Ong na hindi naman po nasa Pinas, na lumilipad, umaalis. Mukhang MBA type of person po, kaya nga hindi kami nagtagumpay na kakuha ng investment sa kanila, no? So si Cassie Ong po ay, ang alam ko, empleyado lang talaga ng Whirlwind, no? At bago pa nga nalaman ko na nag-alkohan yung
so,
Lucky
Mr. Chair,
South.
sorry po. Yes. So
Mga July lang po. July din po. Same month po of July.
So si Cassie Ong is the Cassandra Ong that you're...
Opo.
Okay.
Siya po yun.
So when this first meeting, did she, I presume there were subsequent meetings happened, di ba? Because time that you met, sabi mo nga, hindi siya connected with the PAGCOR license.
Opo, iba po yung representative.
So when did the Cassandra Ong approach you and talk about the POGO and maybe perhaps to accompany her, as you claim you represent the leasee in case Whirlwind Company? When did that happen?
Buwan na rin po ng July. Doon po niya sinangguni sa akin na nalaman lang nila dahil nakatanggap na sila ng po sa PAGCOR na naniningil ang PAGCOR.
Would you know, Mr. Chair, would you know kung saan ito nangyari?
Yung pag-meeting po
yes
namin?
Po, yung pag-approach niya po sa inyo?
Oo, humingi po sila ng meeting sa isang restaurant dito po sa Resorts World.
So she specifically requested you to go with her to PAGCOR?
Well, ang sabi lang po niya, may problema kami. Ang totoo po niya, ang unang sangguni is, pwede bang idemanda si Dennis Cunanan? I'm sorry to have to say this dahil kilala ko rin po si Cunanan. No? Ang sabi ko, kumuha ka rin ng ibang abogado, kakilala ko si Dennis Cunanan, mga anak namin, magkakaklase, from K to 12, at kapitbahay ko pa. So ang sabi ko na lang is, well, humanap kayo ng ibang abogado, pero ang solusyon sa problema mo, pwede naman humingi ng rescheduling ng utang.
So ang response po niyo doon sa request niya, I presume is sabi mo nga, pumamaho kayo sa kanya, no? Gusto ko lang po on record, Mr. Chair, what was the exact response that you gave her when she approached you about these problems?
Well, ang pag-contact po niya sa akin is anong gagawin? Kasi na-dispalkohan daw yung kanilang SC na Lucky South, no? So, ang gusto niya is legal action. Ang sabi ko, hanap po kayo ng ibang abogado kasi kakilala ko po yung rinireklamo ninyo, no? At masama dahil kapitbahay ko pa. So, ang sabi ko, baka matutulungan ko naman kayo na magkaroon ng rescheduling of payment dahil pumapayag naman ng mga gobyerno sa rescheduling of payment, lalo na kung hindi naman talaga consistent masama ang payment record.
So at this time, when you met her and asked you, Mr. Chair, Secretary Roque, of these perhaps legal advices, were you already employed by Whirlwind Company?
Hindi pa po. Kasi po, nag-iinganyo nga po ako sa kanila na mamuhunan po sa mga energy projects. So wala pa po kaming professional relationship. It was more of, I wanted them to invest in an energy project po.
So fast forward po tayo na claim nyo naman po at na-narrate nyo na nga po na you confirmed that you were present during that meeting with Chairman Tenco, no?
Opo.
Yeah. So, sino pong tumawag? Who called the Chairman Tenco or PAGCOR to arrange this meeting?
Well, ang sekretary ko po ang nag-arrange ng meeting matapos po na nalaman namin na ang pagre-reschedule ng payment is a board decision.
So, your secretary arranged this meeting when you were still not employed by Whirlwind Company?
Well, By that time po, opo, parang accommodation ko lang po sa Whirlwind. At that time po, wala kaming professional relationship other than patuloy ko pong iniinganyo sila na mamuhunan doon sa.
So gusto ko lang pong malinawan dito, Mr. Chair, si Cassie Ong approach you do not have any legal or professional relationship with her and told you about her problems with Mr. Dennis Cunanan, and you were not employed at the time during this meeting by Whirlwind Company, and yet you extended the effort of contacting PAGCOR to set up that meeting. Am I correct?
Tama po yun, dahil nga po iniinganyo ko sila na mamuhunan. Parang that's a show of good faith po.
Matanong ko lang po, bakit po niyo nagawa yun?
Dahil gusto ko po talagang magkaroon ng relasyon sa Whirlwind na sila po yung mamuhunan doon sa mga energy projects na
Would you confirm this, Chairman Tenko, that the meeting that was took place between among you was arranged or requested by the Secretary of Attorney Roque?
Yes. Week prior to July 20. Got in touch with. They were requesting if it's possible.
You confirm. So
I confirm. I confirm.
Secretary, at the time of you and Cassandra's meeting, Chairman Alten, alam ko naman on record na sabi dito, but I just want you to confirm. How much was Lucky South's payables to PAGCOR?
Well, ang pagkakaalala ko po ay $500,000 po.
And would you know what these payables are for?
Well, hindi ko po alam po ano talaga yung nature ng payment. Ang alam ko lang na dispalkuhan, di umano yung kanilang South, and may demand letter yung.
Okay, so so did you tell Cassandra Ong, since sobrang bait niyo naman, in-approach na po kayo, niyo po siyang magkaroon ng meeting with Tenko, and prior to the hiring ng as you as legal agent at legal representation ng Whirlwind, sabi niyo po ba how would you be able to, for the Lucky Strike to be able to settle these problems with PAGCOR, their problems with?
Well, ang sabi ko po, pwede naman humingi ng rescheduling of pay. O pwede naman nabayaran ng gives yung pagkakautang. At pumapayag naman po ang mga korporasyon dyan.
Nasabi din yung Secretary Roque that they need to pay RERs to PAGCOR in them to renew.
Well, yun nga po ang concern nila kasi nagulat sila na may pagkakautang sila at syempre, pag nagkaroon ng pagkakautang yung kanilang kliyente, po pwedeng malagay sa alanganin yung kanilang lisensya.
How did Lucky South 99 respond to that advice?
Hindi po ako nagbigay ng advice sa Lucky South. Alam na po ni Cassie ang consequences para sa Lucky South kung mababayaran yung utang kasi nag-demand letter po. Sinabi na ng PAGCOR na kinakailangan magbayad sila, otherwise magkakaroon ng pero wala po akong communication doon sa Lucky South. So, alam ko ano.
Yes, okay. So, nagbayad din mo sila ultimately, no?
Na-confirm po.
I'm asking, did they be able to?
Yes.
Was there any payment scheme happen?
Payments.
Yeah, payment arrangement between PAGCOR and Lucky South 9.
Leader. That same day, they made a payment of 200. That showed that the settled. Then time. January, sorry, about 6 months to pay off all balance. We're looking at 300,000. That was.
So there was no payment scheme, but there was already a payment.
Yes. On the
Was
same,
the RERs paid in full?
It was paid in tranches because that day itself, while we payment of 100 balance was paid over January 2024.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Secretary Roque, I'm sure you know the nature of why Cassie Ong requested your presence in that meeting. Am I correct? So she would not approach you if she would probably know that you have some, at least your presence is really in need there. Kung sa ordinaryo na tao, hindi naman ho magsasama, alam na walang impluensya yung isasama sa opisina. Tama ho ba? So would you know, for example, did Cassandra Ong, I presume, told you about her problems with Mr. Cunanan? And Ano po ba yung mga options na nasabi mo sa kanya apart from, say, for example, paying the amount that they need to pay to PAGCOR?
Yung idea po na mag-arrange ng rescheduling para sa mga pagkakautang ay nanggaling sa akin. Dahil ang tanong nga nila is, anong gagawin namin? Nag-dispalkohan kami, ang idemanda. Sabi ko, humanap kayo ng ibang abogado, pwedeng idemanda yan dahil kakilala ko yan. Pero, ang alam ko, pwede namang ayusin yan sa pamamagitan nga na paghihingi. So, nanggaling po yung sa akin na. At kampante naman po ako na papayag naman po ang PAGCOR basta nga lang merong sure faith, no? Meron talaga at ma-explain lang kung bakit sila bayad dahil bago naman sila na-dispalkohan, wala naman silang problema po.
Mr. Chair, at Secretary Roque, you confirmed the Attorney Fernandez testimony that you followed up, made in PAGCOR regarding the application of Lucky South 99, am I correct?
3 beses po, 2 by text, by telephone call, pero yung telephone call ko po, hindi follow-up. It is only a matter of information na nakahanap na ang Lucky South ng abogado para gumawa ng MP na requirement po.
Thank you. Sorry po, Secretary. I'm just wondering po, who requested you to make this follow-up?
Request po ako ni Cassie Ong kasi ang sabi po niya, hindi raw niya makontak si Attorney Kesa. No? At totoo naman po, doon sa pagtawag ko, talagang busy Attorney Kesa. So once po, para tanungin ko kung ano yung kulang pang mga documentation, kasi nga po, request ako ni Cassie na hindi raw niya makontak. So sabi ko, let's see kung ako kontak ko naman, baka timing lang.
So you're doing this, hired na po kayo as a lawyer of Whirlwind Company?
Opo, nagsimula na po yung kaso kasi 2 weeks after the meeting on July 26, hinire na po niya kami para dun sa case at ang first task nga po namin is prevent yung execution na initial ng Regional Trial Court.
So alam niyo po Mr. Chair, Secretary, that these follow-ups are by nature the lacking documents of Lucky South 99 that they need to comply with PAGCOR. This directly in relation with their application, apart from paying the RERs, their application as well for a license nung sa newly amended guidelines ng secretary. So you would know, for example, of the nature of the follow-ups that it pertains also for their application for the IGL license. Am I correct?
Tama po yan kasi ang pinag-aawayan nga po yung possession dun sa lugar na ginagamit for PAGCOR. So concern po si Cassie as the lessor of Lucky South na kung mawawala naman sila dun sa posisyon, wala na rin silang kontrata dun sa POGO kasi nga po sila yung pinapaalis dun sa possession sa premises na gamit para sa POGO.
So after, yes po.
That will be your last question, Congressman.
May be allowed to.
So, what is the pleasure of the member?
I will yield my time to...
Okay, there's a peace time. So, we'll be allowing Congressman Adjong to... bagay ko naman.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
the Chair would like to acknowledge the President, Congresswoman Torres. Can sit for another 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, after learning about this lacking of documents in the application of Lucky South 99 PAG, sino po ba ang whom do you report this, Secretary? May mga documents ka ba na pinapresent sa kanila that may probably help them to comply ultimately with the request appeal for a license after you have follow-up with the PAGCOR? And you learned about these lacking documents. To whom do you report this po?
Well, Mr. Chair,
Since you are according to you, a lawyer of Whirlwind Company.
Mr. Chair, pinadalan po ako ng listahan ng requirements ni Attorney Jessa at yung Viber mismo sa akin ni Attorney Jessa, finorward ko lang po kay Cassie Ong.
So have you told advice Cassandra Ong that Lucky South 99 must also comply?
Finorward ko lang po yung text as is mismo ni Attorney Jessa because those were the lacking documents.
So, hindi lang tayo maging abogado as an ordinary person. When you extend something to a person, especially if you know that this is of legal consequence, agree ho kayo doon. Kasi tinutulungan nyo, kasi you would not help anybody if you don't agree from the very start of the, say for example, of the request or the application. Would that be correct? On a human level perception, would you at least confirm to this application that you agree and you may as well support the request of Lucky South 99 for their application for the IGL license?
Hindi naman po. Ganito po kasi yan. Yung pumasok kami sa ejectment, may decision na, meron ng writ of execution na papaalisin ka. So ang aking tanong, lalaban pa ba tayo sa ejectment dahil ang issue dyan is, meron ka pa bang kliyente na uupa in the first place? Kung wala nang uupa sa'yo, bakit ka palalaban doon sa ejectment? At in fact, ngayon po, yan ang problema ng Whirlwind. No? Na kapag natalo sila sa possession, bibigay na namin yung problema sa Pogo doon sa may-ari. So, importanteng malaman din po para malaman kung anong strategy na gagawin namin, no, kung magkakaroon pa sila ng parokyano doon sa kaupahan nila. Dahil ulitin ko po ha, nung kinuha nila ako, meron ng writ of execution. So actually, sabi ko, this is actually a 60-40 na matatalo na tayo, no, na ang aasahan na lang natin, mapiprevent natin yung execution. Pero dahil talo na sila at meron ng writ of execution, ang tanong din is it worth it to fight? Wala ka rin namang kliyente at hindi rin mabibigyan ng lisensya. O pwede ka na mag-surrender kung ganun po.
Well, I think para sa akin ang pagkakaintindi ko po, no, I'm not refuting your claim, Secretary Roque. You're entitled to your own opinion, but I find it very rather peculiar for a person to extend such assistance if from the very start I do not agree and I do not support such request. So masyado ho kayo mabait, Attorney Roque. Now, in the previous hearing po, Mr. Chair, Secretary, it was your claim that you were acting as for Whirlwind Company because the Whirlwind Company in this case is the agent or the leasee ng Lucky South 99. Am I correct po?
Lessor po sila.
Yes.
Ang
sorry.
lessee po ay
Correct me,
Lucky
correct.
South.
Yes.
Opo.
So, tama po. Sorry po. So you confirm that?
Opo, I confirm that po.
So did you help either of these corporations prepare a contract of agency?
Hindi po, kasi wala naman akong relasyon sa kanilang, wala po akong relationship doon sa contractual agreement between the lessor and...
So if there's no proof that there is a contract of agency, being you as a lawyer, I presume that you are well knowledgeable about law. As a lawyer to Whirlwind, you would probably ask Whirlwind Company if there is contract of agency that's between. Would that be rather peculiar for you not to, at least to review if this kind of a relationship between these two entities, considering that you went extended your effort beyond what your you have? Yes, I'm sorry, you have. Gusto ko lang po maintindihan. Because you even went as further as to arrange a meeting with the Lucky South 99 with. You nyo ba hiningi or have you in instance ask for a clear proof and evidence of an
Well, nung punto pong yon, ang alam ko sila ang lessee ng mga cruise. So nakita ko po yung lease contract. Now, sinabi rin nila na nagpapaupa sila dyan nga naman intern sa Lucky South. So nakita ko rin po yung kontrata nila between Whirlwind and Lucky South. So meron po talagang lease contract intern between Whirlwind and Lucky South. Yun po ang nakita ko.
Congressman Adjong, can I interject something?
Yes, please.
Konti lang at
My pleasure.
medyo nakikinig ako sa inyong discussion. And I wanted to be clarified, Secretary Harry Roque. Kasi there are a lot of corporations, no? Marami. Merong Lucky South 99 corporations, may Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, merong Lucky South 99 Group Incorporated, merong Lucky South 99 Limited Incorporated. These are all interconnected yung mga incorporators. So, basically, iba pa to yung sa tinatawag nating Whirlwind. Ang Whirlwind is more on the real estate. So, ito ang binigyan ng lisensya. Sino ang unang binigyan na lisensya diyan sa tinatawag po nating maraming Lucky South 99?
Hindi ko po alam kasi kahit kailan wala pa ako naging relasyon po sa Lucky South.
Okay. Kung hindi po ninyo alam, ay yung ating pong allow me, Congressman Adjong, para maliwanagan tayo kasi medyo ako'y naguguluhan dito sa Lucky South 99 eh. Ang dami. We're talking about Lucky South 99 ha. But when you read all the documents sa SEC, saka sa PAGCOR, merong Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated. Meron Lucky South 99 Corporation. Meron Lucky South 99 Limited. Meron Lucky South 99 Group Incorporated. So, yung members ng Lucky South 99, nandito. Sino ba presidente nyo? Julian Linsangan, the third? Nandito? So, Julian Linsangan. Saan ka incorporator? Ay, sandali. Wait. Have you taken your oath? So, to all those who are invited for the first time on this hearing, please stand up para ma-administer po yung and the COMSEC is hereby directed to take their oath.
Stand and raise your right hand. Standing for the first time. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this investigation?
Okay, Julian Lisangan the third. Saan ka incorporator?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Not connected with Lucky South. Po yung,
You are not connected with?
Lucky South. Kami po yung
biktima kayo ng Identity theft.
Yes, sir.
So, hindi kayo involved dito sa Lucky South 99?
Your Honor, we're not even.
Kasama mo rin si Marion, Ryan Chua?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi rin kayo involved dito? And even Edwin Ang? And si Ronelyn Baterna? Ronelyn Baterna, ikaw ang incorporator ng Lucky South 99, correct? Corporate secretary ka ng anong kumpanya?
Lucky South.
Lucky South 99 Outsourcing.
Opo.
So sa Lucky South 99 Outsourcing, kailan to i-register sa SEC?
Kasi trabaho yung
Anong position mo sa Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated?
kasi way back 2019 2020 po parang
So you were, okay, inassign ka lang doon sa korporasyon,
opo.
pinapirma ka lang without you contributing anything doon sa korporasyon?
Opo.
Ha? So dami ka. Ginawa kang dami. Nino?
Ano, di ba po, 2019 reception. Tapos nung sinabi po nila na parang gagawin po nila akong corporate secretary, parang ano ko na lang.
So sino nagsabi sa'yo na ipapasok ka sa Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated?
Yung company po.
Sino nga doon sa company?
Mga admin po.
Sino sa company? Sino yung admin? Sino? Anong pangalan? Nung nagsabi sa'yo?
Si Ma'am Charlotte po.
Si Charlotte. Anong pangalan ni Charlotte?
Parang siya po yung HR.
Charlotte ano?
Charlotte.
Charlotte C?
Yeah, siya po yung...
So Chinese siya? Chinese siya?
Opo.
Is she still here?
Wala na po.
So anong position na doon? Charlotte C?
Pagkakaalam ko po, siya po ay... Kasi siya po yung nag-interview sa...
So in other words, napunta ka doon, Ronelyn Baterna. So lahat dito kasi makikita namin yung mga signatures mo from Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated. Napapunta ka rin dito sa Lucky South 99 Corporation. Di ba?
Opo.
So alam mo yung series of the signatures that you have given to these corporations?
Hindi ko po alam.
Basta pirma ka lang ng pirma?
Opo.
Magkano binayad sa inyo?
Wala po kasi, empleyado po kasi ako. So nagtatrabaho po talaga.
Wait, sandali.
What do you mean binayad?
Ano?
Ano po yung...
Dati tinatanong namin kung magkano binayad sa'yo para pumirma ka sa lahat ng korporasyon na to. Kasi, alam mo, parang, it doesn't make sense, ano? It doesn't make sense na pipirma ka sa mga dokumento na kung saan makikita mo, SEC, PAGCOR, di ba? Saan mo mag-iisip ka eh? Mag-iisip ka, ano itong pinipirmahan ko? Ano na to? SEC na to, PAGCOR na to, gaming na to eh. Tapos, sasabihin mo sa amin dito na pumipirma ka lang dahil walang pabor na binigay sa'yo, dahil empleyado ka lang. Magkano sweldo mo bilang employee? Magkano yung sweldo?
17. Parang pinromote.
So 70, naging 20 ka.
23 po.
Ilan taon ka na sa kanila? Hanggang ngayon, 2019 hanggang ngayon, 5 years. 5 years ka na doon at sinasabi, ang sweldo mo mula noon hanggang ngayon is 17, na-level up ka na, 20,000 ka na ngayon.
23 po.
23,000. 23,000. In other words, sinasabi mo na naisahan ka, parang gano'n.
Yung paper money.
I hope you don't mind. Anong natapos mo? Anong natapos mong course?
2 years grad.
Anong course?
Associate
Computer? Saang school?
Danao po.
Taga Mindanao ka?
Po.
And I think you are educated enough to know that what you are signing is so important that what you are trying to manifest in this committee is unbelievable. Sama parang nagdududa kami dito na it's either wala ka talagang alam or ito ang plano nyong ipaalam sa amin with the connivance of your employer. Kasi you've been there for so many years and you have established relationship. At kami naman dito sa Kongreso, tingin ko, hindi naman tanga mga congressman dito para basta-basta paniwalaan ka namin na pagkatapos na 5 taon na nandun ka, hindi mo binasa, 5 taon na nandun ka, nagtatrabaho ka, hindi mo binasa yung SEC, hindi mo binasa yung PAGCOR. Sa lahat ng mga dokumento at lahat ng kanilang mga negosasyon, andun ka. Mula sa Lucky South 99 Outsourcing hanggang sa Lucky South 99 Corporation, kasama ka. Miss Ronelyn Baterna. I think we will be asking more questions in a while. So, nakuha ko na yung time ni Congressman. I will be yielding back his time, but Ronelyn Baterna, please answer truthfully. I think you are hiding something, and later on, we will be finding it out. Okay, go ahead, Congressman Adjong.
Thank you. Secretary Roque, this meeting or hearing affirmed by you, validated by you, an agent, lawyer for Will Win Company, no? So whenever you represent...
I was an agent. I was a lawyer.
Sorry, yes,
for Will Win.
correct me. I was wrong about that. You're a lawyer of Will Win Company. And whenever you represent Will Win Company in relation to Lucky South 99, I'm sure part of that arrangement is naturally they will pay you for whatever representation you would make in the advantage of your client. Am I correct?
Well, hinire po nila ako para sa kaso. So, I do not have a general retainers with them. I have a specific agreement to handle the ejectment case, no? Which started in the RTC of Angeles, and then we elevated the case to the Court of Appeal.
So you never asked by Will Win Company extra client because according to you, you're limited to that particular case?
Yes po. As soon as we signed the client engagement memo, we were limited to handling that ejectment case.
Kayo nandoon sa meeting, and why did you do some follow-ups?
Well, as I said po, nung time na nag-meeting kami, hindi pa po kami hired officially for any legal engagement. It was more of trying to convince them to invest in the energy projects that I was promoting, Your Honor.
Kailan po kayo, Mr. Joint Secretary? Kailan ko pa, may we know kung kailan ho kayo na-hire?
Well, na-file po namin. I submitted the documents po sa RTC Angeles, second week of August.
No, when your legal services was, when legal services started with the Will Win Company, would you know what date was this?
Well, there is a specific date, but I think it is 1 week before we filed the motion in the RTC of Angeles. Because when we found out what had happened, ang first remedy namin is to ask the RTC of Angeles to recall the writ of execution that they had already issued.
I'm sure, Mr. Chair, Secretary, I'm sure you have a document, no, official document that you're in. Sabi mo nga, you contest the question of Torres, Congresswoman Beatrix. Previous, kasi there was no client attorney relationship between you and Lucky South 99. So I presume, following that logic of yours and your explanation, you would probably have a document that would testify that you were hired by Will Win Company. Would you be so kind enough as to give us a copy?
That is covered by attorney-client privilege.
Okay.
However, I would like to add...
Yeah, but since magbait ka naman, Secretary, kasi nag-extend ka ng extra effort, maybe we can also tap that humanity of yours inside you to provide this committee. It's not something that you should be hiding because you're entitled naman to accept any legal arrangement with any companies in any corporation. Am I correct?
For me. It is not for me, Mr. Chair. It is for the client. But as far as the attorney-client privilege is concerned, that's sacrosanct po in the legal profession. Now, I would like to add po na although it is true that there could be an attorney-client without a written contract and without payment of services, the Supreme Court and the Code of Canons of Professional Responsibility takes the perspective of the client on when the attorney-client relation exists. In Canon 3 of the said rules, of the said canons, the attorney-client begins as soon as the client reposes the confidence on an attorney to perform legal services. Now, but according to case law, in the first place, there must be a contract between the client and the attorney. There must be a meeting of the minds. Kaya nga pong sinasabi ko, although I represented an agent of Lucky South, that did not make Lucky South my client. Para rin po yung, since mga airlines, merong silang mga handling agencies, pwede ko maging kliyente ng handling agency na hindi ko magiging kliyente yung airline itself. No? So yan po talaga yung nangyari. No? So as I said po, even if it were true I represented Lucky South, ganun po ang trabaho ng abogado. Kaya lang, why will I say that I represented Lucky South na wala naman po talagang legal representation?
Balikan ko lang po yung
last two question.
Mr. Chair, may I extend for another 1 minute or 2 minutes?
Last two questions.
2 questions, okay. Kala ko 2 minutes na, 2 questions. So, balikan ko lang po, Mr. Chair, sa Secretary. So, roughly, kung marirecall nyo po, kailan po kayo na-hire ulit ng company? This is a week prior to the filing of your case in...
1 week before po.
When
prior.
was this? When was
this? This is the first week already of August.
August of what year?
Of 2023.
2020. So, the good thing, Mr. Chair, that you've mentioned about yung sabi mo, dalawa, Mr. Chair, no, sa ating mga kababayan na nakikinig ngayon, mukhang nakukonfuse nga sila sa Will Win Company and sa Lucky South 99. That's why we are trying to digest further, inquire further kung ano ba talaga itong dalawang entities. These are two different entities because the fact that they've entered into an agreement, it proves that they're two separate entities, no? So I have here, Mr. Chair, and I would like to cite itong lease agreement between. And by the way, may I ask Secretary Roque and maybe Chairman Tenko, would you know in that meeting who represented whom? I mean, these are two entities, no? Whirlwind Company and South Lucky Nine. Would you know which or either of the two, Secretary Roque and and Cassie Ong, represented whom or what? Or are you still also confused at that time because you thought they're still the same, one and the same?
No, first of all, very clear in my mind. No discussion on. I think more important to know the fact that Whirlwind has no relationship. Whirlwind never licensed or had any other PAGCOR. For us, Whirlwind does not exist. Because never had a license, never applied for a issued a license. Sa amin po, liwanag po sa amin, si Cassie Ong, po si Cassie Ong para ipakiusap yung arrears ng Lucky South na current time ay isang license PAGCOR dahil nabigyan lisensya noong nakarang PAGCOR. So, Cassandra Castro, wala po naman. Never was there any discussion about work and Cassandra PAGCOR.
Thank you, Chairman. Secretary Roque, what is your take on that? Kasi mukhang klaro naman ata kay Secretary Tenko that you were there in that meeting. And you were with Cassie Ong, who apparently was connected. I guess she's still connected with Lucky South 19. How can you convince us that there has nothing to do, your presence there has nothing to do with Lucky South 99, Mr. That you were there simply because you are representing Whirlwind Company, whose legal services that you have signed with this company is purely limited to the case that you have filed prior to your being hired by this company. So doon lang ako nakaka-confuse. I'll give you, Mr. Chair, I'll give you time, Mr. Chair, to respond to that.
Yes,
Secretary
maraming
Roque.
salamat, Mr. Chair. Nandun po si Cassandra Ong bilang ahente ng Lucky. Pero gaya ng sinasabi ko, yung pagiging ahente niya does not make her a shareholder or an officer of Lucky South. And since I represented an agent, ang ibig sabihin po, ang kliyente ko yung ahente. Wala po pagkakaibigan, for instance, dun sa mga ground handler sa airport. Pwede ko maging kliyente yung ground handler, for instance, yung Mia Score. Pero hindi ibig sabihin yun na palibasa nagbibigay ng serbisyo ang Mia Score sa Cathay, kliyente ko yung Cathay. So I rendered service to an agent of Lucky South, and obviously she was there to make sure that the interest of their principal would be protected dahil nga na-dispalkohan. So the answer is, Cassie Ong was there as an agent. And in fact, in the rules of PAGCOR, kinakailangan magkaroon sila ng representative, an agent who will represent the different licensees of PAGCOR. And it is not a requirement that the agent becomes a shareholder or an officer. Okay. In fact, after that meeting, was when Sandra Ong became a representative of Lucky Star, and if the good chairman will recall, kasi sabi ko, naalala ko, sabi niya, naku, yan, Dennis Cunanan, palitan niyo yan. Hindi mabuting tao yan, no? Palitan mo na yan. At after that meeting, naging representative po si Cassie Ong ng Lucky South. But the meeting po, on record na representative, was still Dennis Cunanan, which Cunanan disputed the last time. Sabi niya, a month before, hindi na ang representative. Pero officially, in the records of PAGCOR, I am 100% sure po, as of the date that we met, it was Dennis Cunanan. Kaya nga po kinakailangang tulungan si Sandra Ong kasi pwedeng hindi siya pansinin eh. Dahil bakit ka papansinin ng PAGCOR, hindi ka representative ng licensee. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And this happened despite the fact that you were hired by Whirlwind Company, not in any way connected with Lucky South 99. Mr. Chair, yes, no, that is a manifestation. I do not record. Mr. Chair, I have here the agreement. This agreement between Whirlwind Company, the lessor, and the lessee, in this case, Lucky South 99, also. This was signed, and the fictivity of the term of the lease commenced on November 5, 2019, up to November 4, 2022. The representative of Whirlwind Company, meaning the lessor, was, I don't know if she's still connected with the Whirlwind Company, Miss Stephanie B. Mascareñas. And the lessee, this case, Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, is Miss Catherine Cassandra L. Ong. So this is the same person, an individual, na nandoon po sa meeting nung nangyari po yung pag-usap na yon with PAGCOR Chairman Altenco. Now, what is peculiar, Mr. Chair, is prior to the expiration, the term of the lease, which is November 4, 2022, and this is the first, there was a subsequent lease that took place. No? Same two parties. Whirlwind Corporation and Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated, and the lease agreement, term of the lease, will commence on January 1, 2021 up to January 1, 2024. So ibig sabihin po, Mr. Chair, nag-overlap, hindi pa nag-expire, ang term of, nag-lease ulit sila. Ganun mo sila ka-confident sa bawat isa. Yung trust and confidence is too high that even prior to the expiration of the lease, they already signed a subsequent lease agreement again. What is so peculiar and so maybe perhaps that attracts this committee's attention is that Miss Catherine Cassandra L. Ong, who represented Lucky South 99 in the first lease agreement contract, is now representing Whirlwind Corporation. And Miss one that signed this contract represented Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated is now this time Miss Ronilyn Baterna. So makikita niyo po, kaya po kami nako-confuse that these are two entities, corporations, and yet the person running these companies are one and the same. Andito po, Mr. Chair. Yung unang list, Sandra Ong, lessor, Whirlwind Company, Stephen Mascareñas, Whirlwind Company, lessor siya, Catherine Cassandra Ong, leasee, Lucky South 99, tapos sa pangalawang kontrata, nagpalit. Si Miss Sandra Ong naman ngayon, ang lessor. At ang leasee is Miss Ronilyn Baterna, Mr. Chair. And also, it is quite, parang nakaka-striking din yung isa sa dokumentong ito that this was signed by the same lawyer, Attorney Maria Gracia Dioco. Same ang nag-notarize po ng dokumentong ito. So, ibig sabihin, sa mga ating mga nanonood po, klaro na po, na tama, dalawang kumpanya, pero run by the same person. I'd like to ask Secretary Roque, did you do your due diligence in finding out that Miss Cassandra Ong used to be, or in this case, siya ang magiging lessor ng Whirlwind Company at hindi ng Lucky South, which you claimed trying to distance yourself from that company, na palang allergic kayo sa Lucky South 99. Did you do your diligence? And I think, Mr. Chair, with all your services to this nation, Secretary Roque, paniwala po ako na isa ho kayo sa magaling na abogado. At hanggang ngayon po, mataas po respeto ko ho sa inyo. Pero basic lang po, rudimentary. I think this is being taught in law school. You have to do your due diligence before accepting any client. Have you at least asked Miss Cassandra Ong, were you in any way connected with Whirlwind Company or Lucky Strike 99? Hindi niyo ho yun tinanong.
Mr. Chair, ang kaso po kung saan kami kinuha ay ejectment case. So, ang tanging dapat na tignan kong kontrata ay yung upa, yung kontrata ng pag-uupa sa panig po ng Cruz family at sa panig po ng Whirlwind. So I cannot go beyond that po kasi ang kasuhan lang, ejectment between the Cruz and Whirlwind. So hindi naman po at issue sa ejectment case yung lease contract between Whirlwind and Lucky South. So wala pong dahilan ako pag-inquire doon sa client, doon sa kontrata between Whirlwind and Lucky South dahil hindi naman po sila yung nagdidimantahan. And I would like to underscore nga po, anong pumasok kami, mayroon ng writ of execution. So nakabinbi na po yung kasong yun.
Yeah, but,
so
Mr.
sa
Chair,
due diligence po, ejectment case, sa mga abogado po, napakasimple po niyang ejectment case na yan. It's even covered by rules of summary procedure. At kung ikaw hahawak ng kaso, titignan mo yung kontrata. Meron bang breach of contract sa contract of lease? So hindi po complicated itong kasong ito. Kaya lang, ang aking naging assessment, na-deprive lang due process ang Whirlwind kasi nga nag-aawayan yung mga Cruz siblings. At nagpanggap itong tatay, si Roberto, na siya pala siya yung registered owner, naniniwala naman itong Whirlwind, hindi naman pala siyang registered owner. At nung dinimanda sila sa lower court, siya pa ang kumuha ng abogado at hindi sinabi sa Whirlwind na dinimanda sila ng mga anak niya. Yan po yun. No? So as far as due diligence is concerned, in an ejectment case, as a lawyer, kung ano po yung material na kontrata is the lease contract only. between the lessor and the lessee, between the Cruz family and Whirlwind Corporation po. Dahil yun lang po ang hinawakan kong copy.
Yeah, pero I think this is material, no? The lease is in fact the very fundamental, very material to any business, no? I think no, I do not, Mr. Chair, Secretary, no, I do not question your knowledge on sa pagdating po sa batas. Sabi ko nga po, mataas po ang respeto ko sa inyo. Ang hindi ko lang maintindihan, perhaps I share this with our common tao, the average-minded person listening to us and watching this committee. But nagkaganon. If we follow your logic, Mr. Chair, and your justification, that you are exclusively limiting your service to this particular case that you have filed involving eviction case, why did you have to PAGCOR's meeting and then make some follow-ups? And then it apparently, based on these records, named Cassandra Ong, who at the time when you PAGCOR and with the meeting, license nila, ay naging connect din sa sa Whirlwind Company, which said na hindi ko maintindihan. Sinasabi niyo ngayon sa committee ito that you are limited, you find it not material anymore to ask Whirlwind Company or Lucky South 99 with in terms of their contract with Lucky South 99, and yet kasi limited ka lang doon sa eviction, and yet you went overboard. Yun po hindi ko maintindihan. Which in this case, Mr. Chair, masyado na mahaba yung pagtatanong ko. I'm sure many of our colleagues here would ask similar questions kasi doon ho nagkakaroon ng problema. Ganito lang po, Mr. Chair, and I would close this with my manifestation. Mr. Chair? Mr.
Okay.
Chair,
Yes,
for
Congressman
my
Adjo.
manifestation.
You want me to interject something?
Yes.
Before you finish your interpellation?
Maybe
Baka
after my manifestation, maybe after my manifestation.
in relation to sa issue mo eh. Ng question niyo. Sige, okay, go ahead.
My manifestation. Kanina po, inamin naman po ni Secretary Roque na sa law sa practice of law, and this was the question I asked him in the previous committee hearing that hindi naman kailangan talaga ng magkaroon ng formality that you have to sign with your kasi pag law, yung definition po ng Supreme Court, yung practice of law, and I agree with him now. He agrees with how the Congresswoman, dear Beatrix Luistro. Now, I'd like to, Mr. Chair, and this is not in any way to contest or to even engage in legal discussion with Secretary Roque. Who am I to contest his legal opinion on the matter? But this is already a decided case. Pertains to the lawyer-client relationship. Very much connected with the sinasabi ng Supreme Court definition nila with the practice of law. Kasi nga po yung participation po ni Secretary Roque dito sa usapang ito, yung legal services na binigay niya according to him sa Whirlwind Company. And in Burby versus Magulta, sinabi po, a lawyer-client relationship was established from the very first moment complainant asked respondent for legal advices regarding the former's business. To constitute professional employment, it is not essential that the client employed the attorney professionally on any previous occasion. It is not necessary that any retainer be paid, promised, or charged. Neither, it is material that the attorney consulted did not afterward, Mr. Chair. And with this new development that we learned that dalawang entities, similar persons running these companies, whatever explanation that we have from Secretary Roque, the bottom line, Mr. Chair, is it benefited a lot Lucky South 99, which is far from the legal services he was offered and accepted by him between himself, Mr. Chair, and Whirlwind Company. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for that opportunity. Marami pong salamat,
Mr.
Secretary
Chair,
Roque,
if you please.
sa inyong response.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, could I briefly just cite also a case?
Yes. You have 2 minutes. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I do not dispute that case po kasi sinasabi lang noon, hindi kinakailangan magbayad ng attorney, kinakailangan magpirmahan. Pero
Mr. Chair, that was
itong
not
kaso
a
po
question.
ito,
That was a manifestation.
Wait.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Point of order, Mr.
Apa.
Chair. Point of order,
Chairman,
Mr. Chair.
point of order.
Wala mo lang. This chair is speaking. Okay,
Wait.
what's the pleasure of Congressman Adjong?
That was a manifestation, Mr. Chair. It wasn't a question.